Hello everyone, it's Thal McRom, and we're back in in my vanilla Vintage Story world. We're going to be working on continuing to get our cementation furnace going here. Meanwhile, I'm actually just looking for a block of some sort that I can use to try and improve my situation I've got going upstairs with my pulverizer. If you see here, there we go. Not everything was getting knocked into the hopper there. That was becoming a bit of a problem. So what I think I'm going to go do is grab 3 more of those blocks. 2 more. 2 more. And then we're going to put them down to make sure things go into the hopper. There we go. There we go. Definitely seems to be working better. Get my fire bricks back here. So I have some iron blooms there. I think they're not hot anymore. Let's go ahead and grab these real quick. Yeah, they're not hot. Perfect. Good, 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 good. There we go. We got 12 more iron blooms. Let's see here, how's this doing? That's processed everything I've already given it. Nice. Okay. So let's go see what we're looking like on resources. We're making so we've got plenty of crushed quartz, bauxite, and olivine. I think we're out of those, actually. Let's see here. We've got some more olivine here. More crushed quartz. Some fire clay. It looks like I'm going to have to acquire more of each of those. Alright. Okay, we got some more magnite. So we got some more magnetite. That's right, because we went on that big sailing trip, didn't we? So let's take these. Let's see if we can't get 2 more runs of iron blooms here. How am I doing on charcoal? I got plenty of charcoal. Perfect. There we go. Let's go in here. Drop this stuff off. I am going to have to make some more fire clay, so we're going to have to do another clay run, because I think I am entirely out of clay. Yeah, I got lime. No clay. I think I am completely out of clay. Yeah, it looks like I am completely out of clay, folks. No, I got a little bit of blue clay, but not enough to make any more fire clay. Okay. Yeah, and there's none left in here. No, no, wait, no. Oh, good. I have some more fire clay. Okay. Okay. Thought I was out of fire clay there for a minute. Alright. We do have some gas funds. Alright, that's a project I don't have to do then. Put these iron blooms in here for now, just to get them out of my inventory. Let's see if we can't do another iron run. How many? Okay, I only got 15 bricks. So I got enough for 1 iron run. It takes you 12 fire bricks to do an iron run. Go. It's up here. There we go. We just go that. That. There's our iron into the bloomery. There's that. And let me just grab my torch for lighting it up. Alright, torch done. So let's go make some more refractory bricks here. So let's see here. We'll need these 2 sacks of fire clay. We'll need our crushed quartz here. So that's quartz, olivine, bauxite. There's 64 fire bricks. Nice. No refractory bricks, tier 2 specifically. There's that one. That one. That one. Not quite enough. So we've got 4 extra. That's fine. Let's get our dry grass here. It's been a long time since I've gotten to run all 5 pit kilns at the same time here. Alright, let's see here. Sticks. There's those. Didn't realize I was carrying a full stack of 6 already. That's fine. Just put that away. And we need some fuel. I'm just going to use some of this brown coal. I shouldn't, but I've got it. And I can get more. I really need to go down to dig some peat. I can use peat for these pit kilns. Go. Alright. The good news is using the brown coal will actually make these finish up faster. There we go. Done. Alright, so let's put this iron away real quick. So we're storing iron. I'm storing that over here. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Times 2 a.m. So let's go ahead and sleep through the night. And we'll go get some peat and other fuel and stuff in the morning. See what we can do about improving our fuel situation. Here, 1 scoop left there. That over here. Top up our hunger. Alright, let's go get some peat. Drifter out here. Drift activity is medium. I checked my map. Yeah, there's some peat over this way. Perfect. Floor. Looks floor medium low fertility. Did I take it all out already? Well, I am not seeing any peat. I might have dug it out already. Hmm. Alright, well, let's check my other locations here. I know I got peat back this way, so we'll go back this way and get some. Lord, that wolf is aggressive. But we'll take the meat, the hides. Does mean I should probably be traveling with my sword out. Yeah, there's wolves back here sometimes. There's also one of these blueberry bushes. Pretty sure I missed that pine tree there. Another blueberry bush. Nice. Add these to my blueberry bush farm that I've got growing at the house. Okay. Our other peat bog should be right over here somewhere. There it is. I recognize that pattern of dirt coloration there. These bushes out of my way. There we are. Nice. This is interesting. This one goes up underground a bit. Go. It's gonna keep us in fuel for the winter. As well as getting rid of one of those shovels that we didn't need anymore. Let me grab that little fertility soil there. It's interesting, I'm getting like this overhang of peat here. Or buried peat. That's unusual. Never seen this before. Alright, there we go. Welcome to stream, folks. Just out gathering a bit of firewood and stuff. Well, peat in this case. Yeah. Alright, let's fill this back in because I don't need extra drifters and things spawning just around the area. Nor do I need all this fertility soil. There we go. people have questions, please ask. And that dirt up. That's all right. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. Should have enough heat to last us for a while there. That block of dirt. Alright. Cool. Let's head back to the house with our dug up peat. This will keep our pit kilns burning as we continue working on getting all of the refractory bricks we need for our cementation furnace. I have shale over here. I really need to come over here and do some prospecting. I can already see that I haven't done prospecting in this area. That's how I'll find out. I've been living on top of, like, a very large, valuable mine of some sort. Or next to, I should say. Alright. I'm gonna need some more olivine here soon, so I'll probably have to go back to my olivine mining area and see if we can't find some more. Because I really want to use nothing but tier 2 refractory bricks for my cementation furnace here. Especially because we're making good progress on my cementation furnace. There we go. See, it's looking good. And what I'm going to need to do, come down here and put in, basically, gonna dig these. Oh no, these. That's fine. This can stay there. But I'm gonna put in some blocks down here. And I'll show you why. Actually, what I should really do. That would be a good idea. That's something I'll do real quick. Here. Dig this little path out right here real quick. Let's dig all that out, actually. There we go. I'm going to take all of that. Dig this one out too. We're just going to do... I can get right here. Put that down for a second. We're just going to do packed earth under here. The reason we're going to do packed earth under here is because that'll stop the grass from growing. Which I don't really want. Count. And let me grab some more. Alright. Okay, these bricks are done. Fantastic. The other thing I want... some packed earth. There it is. Grab this packed earth real quick. Do I have a box for... No, I do not. We don't have a crate for peat. So we're going to put our peat down right here. Just momentarily. Yep. I'm just going to throw this hide I got earlier there. Let's go put away this meat before I let it go bad on me. Meat jar, meat jar, meat jar. I don't have a meat jar, so we'll go in here for now. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot something. Good lord. I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached, as they say. I need 16 pieces of andesite. 2 pieces of clay. What we're gonna do, get this cobblestone. Well, I'm gonna need to get rid of more of this peat first. I'm gonna need some extra hands. Go. We're gonna need our chisel. We're gonna need a hammer. I'm gonna need the soup. That's not what I wanted, game. Did not mean to grab the meteoric iron. There we go. Okay. Eat some more of this nice stew I made earlier. Go. Alright. Now let's get up here and finish kind of the under layer of how I want to do this. So what we're going to do is go down here. We're going to finish filling this in. There we go. Then right here, again, cobblestone, cobblestone. Then, what I want to do... Actually, let me go grab... an idea. Let's see here. Do I have any extra cobblestone somewhere? The previous building project. Maybe? No, I don't. Alright, so we're going to make one more. We're going to make one more. Actually, we're going to make 2 more. Yeah, I'm going to make 2 more. Because we're going to grab some of this. Okay. And then if we do that, we can make slabs. Right, so it's 3 across and a clay. And that's 2 slabs. That's exactly what we wanted. Perfect, 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 perfect. This way. Save our 1 clay. There we go. Okay. Method to my madness here, folks. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to put this here like this. Alright, and then we're going to turn these into chisel blocks. We're going to knock out this front layer of them. I'm going to get my lantern out here just so we can see. Nope. I don't like that. Let's put it right here. There we go. There we go. That works better. All right. So basically, the reason I'm doing this, for people who are watching later or now, is I'm going to build up a lip of rock, basically. Because we're going to be stacking coal. Put that in over there. Put one in there. But we're going to be basically stacking coal right here up under this. It's got to be able to get up under this, but we don't want it falling out. Coal likes to move and fall when it falls out sometimes. So I'm going to take one of these, drop that in there. Okay, and then we're going to do this. Yep, and we're gonna do. I want to add. Let me add. Now I might have to do it like this. Okay. Let's see what it's gonna make me do here. Okay. What we'll do. We'll do it this way then. What we're going to do is we're going to do... We want to be very thin. We want a very thin layer. Go. I'm using a lot of durability off my hammer and chisel here just for vanity project kind of. I mean, it does have a practical purpose. So let's see if we can't get this done quickly here. Okay, so what I need to do is basically leave kind of like just a small narrow ledge up here. So knock off this layer. There we go. Got this layer pretty good here. I just got to finish wearing this side down. Alright. Basically, the idea is we're going to leave like a little lip along here. It'll probably just be like 2 voxels tall length of this thing here. And that's so that I can get in there and I can put down the coal and the charcoal I need to run this thing without it falling out. Because whenever you try to stack coal and charcoal, it has a tendency to fall over. And I'll show you all that here in a second so that you can see why I'm doing this. The main reason I'm chiseling all this out is so that I can, like, I could just fill this in and do it that way too, but I want to be able to come in here beside of it and have easier access. There we go. Alright, so let's see here. I want like 2, so we'll come like here. We're going to come down. So we want 2 here. So we'll just bring this one, that line over, and there. That we're going to cut out right there. And now, because I've added material, I can do this. Oh, not there. Come down here as far as it'll let me. Okay, so that's the end of the block. There. So what I'll do now, E menu, I need one more block, but that's fine. So that's good enough for the moment. So we'll come back and finish that up in a bit. Leave here. My map's out of back to dirt. Alright, that's fine. Alright, let's take this back downstairs here for the moment. I mean, it's not like we're even ready to finish that up here. Hammer away. Eat my turnip stew. Get my last serving of meat stew. Turnips. There we go. Okay, let's grab our... refractory bricks here that we just made. There we go. Let's go grab our mortar, which I think I put in here. Yes, I did. Beautiful. Right, let's see how many of these we can make. So, use this to make the refractory bricks. Yep. Alright, so same pattern that we use when we're making cobblestone. And we can get 14 more. Which is actually perfect. So if we do this, fire these up. Here's some progress. Not an efficient use of my pit kiln, but it'll be alright. There we go. And then I have peat on me. Alright. That'll get us a few more refractory bricks. Well, bricks. There we go. Go ahead and get these in place. Now we're not nearly done yet. We're going to need some more olivine. Definitely have to put in some stairs here, I think. Alright. Let's open this up. And let's do shift so we can see where we need to put more bricks in. Need to finish off that layer there. That layer there. There we go. Alright, so we need one up here. I'm gonna have to do some scaffolding work here to get the rest of this in here. So let's grab... I do not have my scaffolding that I normally use. Well, that's annoying. Let me go grab my scaffolding here. Actually, let me get rid of these blueberry bushes too while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Alright. Cranberry, cranberry. These are blueberries. Leave one there. Actually, what I think I'll do. There we go. There's blueberries. Done. Okay. I need one more piece of dirt. And... where's my hay bales? Hay bales? I get rid of all my hay bales. That's going to be saddening. I don't like being out of hay bales. No. Where's my bone? There's my bone pile. Bones can go in there. There we go. Alright, so... okay, I can put some of this peat in here just so it's not in my inventory. And last stack of peat. Where are we gonna put you? Let's put you here right now. Okay. It still leaves me back to my same problem of I seem to have run out of hay bales. Well, I can make one. We'll just make a couple hay bales here. For scaffolding purposes. Good news is you only... my cat is being super adorable. She walked in here with her mousey in her mouth and meowed at us about it. She had to show us her mousey. Meow meow. Yes, I hear you, Fluff. How are you doing? You doing good there, kitty? She's being adorable. Yeah, you know you're adorable, don't you? There we go. Cool. Alright, now we've got some scaffolding. Let's go get these bricks in place. Okay, so what we'll do So we'll throw a hay bale down like right here. And brick, brick, brick. Pick up our hay bale. Another one down here. Brick. Get our hay bale again. Put a hay bale down over there. Brick. Alright. We're starting to look like a cementation furnace. There's that one, so I'm going to need, what, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more bricks, looks like. And then we'll finally be ready to actually kick this thing off. Alright. I think I'll just put that there. Alright, so let's go grab stuff I need to finish this up. So I'm going to grab just 3 of these, I think. 3. And play. There we go. Cool. And then let's grab my chisel again and my hammer. I'm going to go finish up that little bit of chiseling work I was doing to get the bottom of this thing ready. We are so close. So let's also reset our thing here. Yep. Yeah, so I just need those top ones left. Alright. There we go. And let's see here. We'll just... That's not gonna work. Yeah, if I put it... don't like it behind me. Nope. Yep. Shoot. Yeah, behind me is gonna have to work then. Put it down there. Okay. So let's knock out this layer. Do I still have this here? Okay, good, good. That lets me add the cobblestone. Perfect. That's what I wanted. But I don't really need to, honestly. So let's do this layer now. Now, what I'm going to do really quick here, just so I know where my line is, I'm going to do this layer right here. Do this layer. There we go. And then, see, I can finish knocking the rest of this out really fast. There we go. Let's grab my torch, or lantern, I should say. Now I can put it up here so I can see better. There we go. And we'll go to our smallest size. Finish the detail work. Go. And just finish off the extra bits. Done. There we go. And that'll make it easier for us to put our dark one here. And actually, I'm going to make it so it matches here. We went 3 up. So 2, 3. We go up 1, 2, 3. Actually, what I will do is that I'm just going to add... I'm just going to make it match this way. That works. That gets me where I want. close. Nope. Okay, let's do that one. And can I do this one now? No. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. All right. All right. We'll quit fiddling with that. Because we can always go test it as well. All right. Matter of fact, we will go test it. Let's see here. So the reason we're doing that, I'm going to show you real quick. So let's say I wanted to stack this lovely coal on the ground. So let's do just 1, 2. That's actually technically 4 pieces of coal. But as we do this, yeah, see it falls over. That's why you do that. So if you do carving like I've done here, down here. So now, when I do this, it won't fall off when I do this. See? And if it does fall, it falls forward. And there we go. Perfect. See? So we've got our 2 stacks of coal there. So this thing is actually fueled up and ready to go. As soon as I get the rest of the cementation furnace assembled here. Alright. This will be my first time ever making steel in Vintage Story, by the way. People who are curious. That away. You know what? This might be a good use for some of these here. Do that. And do I have any boards or anything? Got these. No. That could work. Alright, we're going to repurpose some of my leftover building materials from previous building projects here. Alright, so what we're going to do, start with putting this down here. We're going to go that like that. And there we go. See, that gives us a nice little ramp up. It's not stairs, but it's a ramp that we can walk up. Improvised. There we go. Close that up. I just need 7 more refractory bricks. Or, well, blocks of refractory bricks, realistically. Oh, good. That bloomery is done. How's my wood looking? I'm not sure. I don't have my readout that tells me how the wind speed's looking. Okay. Now, do I have any stuff left to make any more refractory bricks? I do. Need some more crushed bauxite. That's easy enough to do. So around here I have, like, bauxite. Okay. Let me show you my... If you weren't here for my last stream, let me show you my genius bit of work here. It's not really genius, it's just something cool. I can put stuff in this chest, and this chute system feeds it into my pulverizer, which then crushes it, pulverizes it, and dumps out into this hopper, which feeds it into a chest that goes down below. Now, I had to put these blocks of dirt around it to make sure it goes into the hopper. But now it does, and when it gets crushed... Yes, we're going to steel. Greetings, battery boy. How's it going? And yes, general efficiency, steel. I'm so close, I can taste it. And there's where my crushed materials come out, right there. Isn't that nice? But welcome to stream, battery boy. How you doing tonight? And how you doing, general efficiency? Oh, so, battery boy, since you're new, this is Vintage Story. Are you familiar with Minecraft? And good. Are you on the server currently there, General Efficiency? General Efficiency is one of my community members, battery boy. Okay, well, this game started off as a set of Minecraft mods. Oh, not right now? Okay. And then the mod maker realized that the game engine that they run Minecraft on couldn't do everything he wanted with his mods that he was working on. And so he went out and made his own game engine and used his mods to make the storyline and all that fun stuff. And so this game is technically a game engine running 3 mods that the developer made to create his story content, which means it's incredibly easy to mod this game. Now, this is completely vanilla, the way the developers released it. I'm not running any mods on this particular playthrough, because I'm trying to get through all the story stuff. Yeah, kind of like with Arma and Daisy. Very similar, yeah. This is like Daisy and Arma with it's a Minecraft vintage story. There you go. With, you know, this being the mod. And basically, I'm working on getting into the final kind of tech level in the game, sort of. Tool tech level, we'll say, which is steel. Because I'm trying to play through the entire storyline that's released in the game so far. Like, it's only the first, like, 2.5 chapters, depending on how you want to count your chapters of storyline in the game. And they intend for there to be, like, 8 total chapters in the game. And basically, as you can see by the snow outside, it is currently winter time, which makes travel not impossible or anything, but just slow and tedious, and you have to worry about body temperature a lot more and stuff. So I'm kind of hanging around the base, you know, teching up, making improvements, doing things like that, while I wait for the spring thaw sometime in March. In-game. It's the 3rd day of February with, I think, 9-day months. So, after 6 more days, we'll have spring starting to set in, and I'll be able to sail. Let's see here. Is any of my stuff grown? This is grown. This is my greenhouse where I do my winter farming. That's grown. Oh, this one, that one's grown. So, let's see here. This was a fun build here. So you're probably wondering why this is all built in like a weird terraced setup. And that's because I've got water behind these blocks, because unlike in Minecraft... Yeah, very much. And you can make the winters even harsher. This is just normal winters. You can actually make the winters harsher in this game. I have a Snowball Earth playthrough of this same game that I'm doing where it's like... The highest temperature I've seen has been like slightly above freezing in the middle of summer. You know, because you can actually customize the heck out of your world, just like what kind of world you want. Like, do you want any of the story content, or do you not want any story content? You can turn it off and not deal with any story stuff. Just do a survival game if you want, which is actually very popular amongst the community. There's a lot of people out there who love just doing the survival part of the game and not dealing with any of the story stuff. But as I said, I'm trying to do the story just because I've never played through the whole story before. And so I wanted to give it a nice fresh run. And then I run a modded server for my community where we run various quality of life mods and, you know, mods that just add extra interesting tidbits. How's there a story? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of lore content that you can go and read in the game that tells you, like, how the world ended up the way it is now, including, like, what kind of a person your character is and stuff, and where you kind of came from. Because your character doesn't know. Your character just wakes up in the middle of a field, forest, or whatever one day, and you have no memory of how you got here. Matter of fact, when you go and find the first, like, NPC or trader or whatever, because all the NPCs are basically merchants, they're just, like, living in the world and stuff, and you can talk to them, and, you know, do trades and stuff with them. And they're like, oh, it's one of you guys. Let me guess, you just popped up out of nowhere and you don't remember anything? And you're like, yeah, how'd you know? He's like, yeah, I've been a lot of that going around, kind of a thing, you know? And from there, one of them will basically set you on a quest line that you can go and do. And then that will lead you into the story content. It will help you basically relearn, like, what happened, how you've ended up here, you know, and what your kind of purpose here is. Kind of stuff. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. And it's got, like, you know, special POI/dungeon locations for you to go and explore. And it's got, you know, boss fights. Nursing home simulator. I mean, kind of. So, slight spoilers. Your character, no, it's not so much you forgot your meds. You died. You, like, sort of hardcore, quote-unquote, died. Along with most of the rest of the population of the world. About 500 years ago. Like, that's all, like, the history. This is all, like, 500-ish years after that event that caused, like, the survivors of the ongoing apocalypse at the time, because this is a post-apocalyptic world. So, yeah, so it kind of is nursing it, yes. And now you've popped back up, but you're not, now you're immortal. You can't really die. Like, you can be killed, but you will quite literally re-emerge from wherever you popped out of the first time. With all your memories of everything that's happened up to that, like, from the first time you popped out. Time still passed. It's not like time resets or anything. You just reform there. And everyone's just like, yeah, that's just the nature of your existence now, man. Sorry about you. You know, like... So, it's a whole thing. It's kind of cool. Alright, I was gonna get some bauxite. That's what I was doing. And as I said, there's like there's story to explain all of what's going on and how this all happened. It's a lot of fun. And there's just, like, really cool loot. Like, here, I'll show you some of the story loot. Yeah, kind of Dark Souls vibe. Like, here's some of the cool story loot I've gotten. Like, I got this crystal skull out of one of the story POIs that I went to. I also got this, Forlorn Hope Reliquary, which the Forlorn Hope was, like, a group that existed during the previous apocalypse. They were trying to fight the apocalypse, or whatever. And this is, like, one of their little holy symbol things. You can get, like... I got this king statuette that I found, this silver gear, this gold gear, and then back here I've got a Budastava statuette. Because theoretically this is like some strange alternate Earth storyline that branches off in like the 1200s, you know, where basically someone discovered alchemy, science, magic. That's the easiest way to explain it without going into, like, a whole lot of the lore content. And somehow in that process, they stopped the apocalypse. Quote, unquote. There may have been side effects. Oh, we got a neighbor. This is one of the monsters that was caused by whatever was going on. This is a shiver. It's like this weird... mechanical-esque monster creature. Oh, look, I got another temporal gear. There we go. Exactly. That's why the Forlorn Hope lost their general efficiency, because their armor sucked. Not like the Blackguard. The Blackguard had good armor. Mostly because they also had all the tailors to make them tailored gambesons. To go under their armor. So, what he's referring to there is just the way the chess piece looks. Because you can actually get, like, the armor from the Forlorn Hope. You can find it in the game and fix it up and have a full set of it. Yeah. But chivalry, it's the apocalypse and we're literally rotting right now. Run, you know. Yeah, you know, the Forlorn Hope, their heart was in the right place. They didn't adapt to the times. You know, at least they're not like the... Apparently you can find, like, the corpses of kings who are just like, no, I'm going to sit here and just face the apocalypse and just died on their thrones or something. You can find, like, throne rooms and things, I think, in some of the ruins. I just want these bricks to finish. I keep getting distracted from making more bricks. Yeah, because there's, like, ruins and stuff you can find. and you can repair some of the strange like alchemy, science, tech, magic stuff. But it's mostly like tools. You can get a teleporter that you can find teleporters to repair them and teleport like across the world and stuff like that. You don't have any control of where they go. Like they just randomly connect to another one in the world that exists. And then those two are linked, and so you can always use those two to move back and forth between those two locations, but you know. It's really cool stuff. Little cat just startled the heck out of me. There we go. But so part of what I'm working on right now is I'm gearing up for a place called the Devastation, which is kind of the last major story POI. For this set of for this part of the story that they've got in the game so far. As I said, they've got like 6 more major story sections that they're going to add in the future. Just to kind of give you an idea, the temporal gear here, this was part of that weird alchemy science tech that the guy made way back when, and it's made out of the material he figured out how to make. And you can use this to change where your respawn points are, as well as power the weird magic science tech that exists that the guy made. So, they were playing with temporal mechanics using alchemy, basically. Because that's a smart idea. Translocators on their way to teleport you deep into an underwater cave. You know, I've seen that happen to people in videos where they're just like, "Oh, fix this translocator," and then they just end up like in the middle of the ocean somewhere, underwater. Yeah, exactly. Engineering at its finest. Go. There we go. So these are my pit kilns where I make my pottery, basically. But since you're new to the game, I'll show you some of the crafting here in a second. There we go, that one's lit now. And basically these will just burn for a while, and they'll turn the raw bricks into real bricks, and then I can use them to finish my steel furnace up there. But let's see here. I have some tools I need to make, don't I? Let's see here. Axe is good. I will need a new shovel soon. Right? Yep. I have a knife. I don't need any spears. Hammer's good. Saw is almost dead. Shears are fine. That chisel's almost dead. Actually, can I use that chisel to make this thing? Hold on. Let me check. I just want this. I can. It's a mostly dead soldering iron, but I can. There we go. I have a soldering iron now. Oh yeah. Feel free to record the raid, because so what General Efficiency is talking about their battery boy is on my server that I run for my community, we're going to actually be raiding the first story POI this Saturday as a group. Because several of them have never done it before, and you know, I was like, well, let's go together and we'll go through it and let everybody experience it. And some of them have done it before. A lot of fun. And it's got a big boss battle at the end of it and stuff. And a whole bunch of just like cool loot. And matter of fact, I filled up my sailboat, which I'll show you my sailboat. While we're waiting on this stuff to fire up anyways. Let's go over here. Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, let me go show you my sailboat. This is a road I built during the previous winter and part of this winter. Yeah, like General Efficiency's never been to the story POIs. He has seen one. Like, he actually found the one on the server by accident. He stumbled into it. Because they do exist. Yeah. So they just exist out in the world. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. Like, I used to play the heck out of Minecraft. I now play this instead, just because this is kind of the survival game I always wanted Minecraft to be. But that's just a personal opinion. I'm not going to tell anyone that Minecraft's, you know, or Vintage Story is better, because it's going to be one of those things each person wants something different, and they're going to have to decide what's better in their opinion. I also like just how much easier this game is to mod than Minecraft. I'm honest. It's one of the other big selling points to me. This is my long road. I just mined through a mountain to build a dock house over here. That was a lot of mining, by the way. Give you an idea. Here's all the leftover stone from mining through said mountain. Yeah, it does have a lot of the survival aspects of that. This is my sailboat. This is what I do a lot of my traveling in. And you can put, like, storage chests on it, like I've got here. Or I keep, like, some of my extra gear and just stuff I need to, like, deal with. I need to do something with all this stone. I'm actually going to have to... You know, actually, I think I will go ahead and empty out this stone real quick. Because I need to empty this out before I go to the Devastation anyways. Alright, that's that one. And I'll take the slate. Don't really care about the animal carcass. Suvite. Take the granite. I don't really want the Paradite. Yeah, I love Project Zomboid. I've played a ton of Project Zomboid. Matter of fact, I was doing Project Zomboid on my channel for a while. It just kind of fell off in popularity on my channel. Ow, cat. Ow. I'm being claimed by my cat. Hold on. There you go. You settle down now, cat. But yeah, I love me some Project Zomboid. You got a 2-year-old character? That's impressive. That's hard to do in Project Zomboid. Although once you get to, like, kind of a nice balance, like, once you kind of got your survival under control. Yeah, in-game year, I figured that's what you meant. I think my longest run was, like, 6 months. Like, I got to winter. And it wasn't, like, food that killed me. I didn't starve to death or anything. I had that kind of figured out. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to settle down and not sit on my keyboard. And then I got just overconfident one day, got bitten by a zombie. And I always play that bites are 100% infection rate, you know. Yeah, after winter it's just repeating everything. That's absolutely true. That's the real killer in Project Zomboid, is the overconfidence. Alright, so let's put what andesite I can in here. I know this thing's going to be full soon. So each one of these crates can... Yeah, we're getting sick. Yeah, that crate's now full. Okay. I have dry grass. Ow, I set myself on fire. Glomerate. Flint. Sticks. Oak logs. Bauxite. I'm out of storage for my andesite. That's unfortunate. Do I have any wood laying around? I have oak. Yeah, you know what? Alright, general efficiency. Turn away. Don't watch what I'm about to do to these oak logs. So the reason I'm teasing general efficiency about the oak logs is because oak is very important for making leather in this game. So you have to make tannin, and to make tannin you use oak. I still needed my saw, actually. Hold on. And so it's a very precious wood in that sense. And so me using it for construction and stuff is becoming kind of a bit of a joke. Like, alright, let's see here. Go put that there. Acting like the floors of your base aren't made out of oak. Look, at least you're not the one who cut down all the walnut trees near my house on the server. So Then to be fair, I also went out and got a whole bunch of extra walnut seeds so I can just replant the walnut forest. That's another important aspect of this game, is like just managing your forests and your trees and stuff to make sure you don't run out. I don't need that fencing. I do need to go do some cooking though. Alright, let's see here. Put my crock down. So that's the other thing you have to worry about in this game, is food spoilage. Do I have any more stored up food? No, I'm actually out of cooked food. Alright, time to cook some food. What do I have here? Do I have any extra eggs? Yep. I have this bushmeat, so we'll cook that. We'll grab this flax grain. And make some porridge. And we'll throw some pears in the porridge. What else? What else? Oh, you can absolutely eat the spoiled food. You can eat it until it becomes, like, completely 100% rotten. The game won't stop you. Once it becomes 100% rotten, though, you can't eat it anymore. But that's when you use it to make compost. See, I'm actually saving my rot to make more compost. Because you use the compost to make the most nutrient-rich farming soil in the game. The rot consumes... No, I do. Fantastic. Alright. I'm going to use some of this peat that I just went out and got earlier for cooking purposes. 4 should be enough there. 6 there. The rot was the name of the apocalyptic event, by the way. It was a going on. That's what general efficiency is referring to. Basically, the world was being consumed by this thing simply called the rot. And it was basically just like a black fungal growth, for lack of description, that was just taking over everything. Like, eating everything alive. Alright, yeah, okay, we're starving. I got it. I got you. Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing. Just eat this raw turnip. That way he'll quit complaining. Yeah. Character's a very loud complainer about things. There we go, got some bushmeat. Bushmeat's basically the meat you get from, like, predator animals and stuff. Or animals you wouldn't normally want to eat. Usually tough and gamey, so, like, bears give you bushmeat, wolves give you bushmeat. This actually came off a wolf I killed earlier in this stream that jumped to me when I was out getting the peat. Yeah, eating a raw turnip is crazy. But you know what? When your character's starving to death, that raw turnip seems just fine. Better than eating a handful of flax grain. Done that before in the game. Oh, I'm starving to death and my character won't stop complaining about it. I'm just going to eat this handful of flax grain I'm carrying around. That actually sounds pretty good. Pound of mixed rice mixed with fish and vegetables. So on our server, we actually have a mod that expands cooking, and you can do things like, you know, rice and fish and stuff. Well, you can do rice in this game. Like there is rice in the vanilla game. I don't live in the right climate in the game for it, but it does exist. All right, so here we've got my grass. So here we've got my porridge made of flax and pears and carrots. Now this will give me a much better bonus to my food bar, as well as eating a properly cooked meal like this actually gives you about 30 seconds per 100 points of food value of not having to worry about your hunger bar decreasing. There we go. Are these done yet? No, of course not. Alright. I saw some blue clay over here. Yes, come here, blue clay. Good blue clay. Go. Oh, right. I need mortar, not clay. Good lord. So, I was actually read where someone was doing some research into this whole like flax grain thing. And apparently, flax grain is perfectly reasonable as a thing to eat. It's just, it's not as high as in carbohydrates as other grains. It's actually very high in like protein, apparently, like and fat, like for a grain. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. All right, get my lantern out. I'll have to go the other way. I did not think this out very well. Here we go. This will work. This will work for getting to this roof. There. Alright, so let's do that one. That one's now finished. The easiest to do this way. There we go. Oh my god. I mean, do the shivers need one, though? Have they earned one? Is the real question there, general efficiency. Have the shivers earned one? Do I have enough power to run my... I do. I do have enough power to run my hammer. I need to process more iron. Where do I put my iron blooms? There. Maybe they'll calm down a bit. Okay, that's a fair point. Grab my tongs. There we go. We're gonna use my hammer. It makes more iron ingots. Because I can't make steel without iron. I can even do one more iron run while I'm up here. Okay. Give me another stack of iron nuggets. Grab a little bit more charcoal. Fun. Alright. So making iron is a multi-step process in this game. So first you have to find it and mine it. Then you have to take the raw nuggets and put them into a bloomery. You have to mix them with charcoal, which I just did. And then you have to do this. And there we are. Now it's lit, and over a bit of time, it will slowly burn and turn those iron nuggets into 6 brand new iron blooms. Put my lantern there, just so I have some light. Tongs in the offhand so I don't burn myself. Iron blooms. Alright, I can turn this off. There you go. Sorry if I don't quite catch the emoji there. Ooh, knocked over my empty drink can there. There we go. But we're gonna... So basically this is my hammer. So I can turn this on. And it will automatically hammer certain objects for me on my anvil. In this case, I'm working on hammering out some more iron ingots out of my iron blooms, which this is a whole real process, by the way. Taking your iron blooms and hammering them into ingots and usable billets. Real world thing. Though I've never actually done an iron smelt myself, personally. I've known some people who have. You're hammering drifter into plate. Alright. Wish I could hammer drifters into plate. Okay. Gotta wait for this thing to get up to heat. There we go. Now, normally when you put something on an anvil like that, it asks you what you want to make. But since iron blooms can only become iron ingots, there's no selection there. There's actually a lot, but they're working on it. For example, you notice I've got windmills running this, and if it was daytime, you could see the windmills up there. They don't have water wheels yet, but they're working on that for the next major update, so that you can set up water wheels. But they're going to change some of the water mechanics to have that. Have her call me back. Who am I going to have call you back? The drifter? But yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do in this game. It's got a lot of depth to it. And the great thing is, because they know that people might have questions about what you can do, to make it so you don't have to go to their Wikipedia page, their wiki page, which they do have a wiki page, by the way, very helpful wiki page. You can just press H, and it brings up your in-game handbook of, here's everything you need to know. Will it make my dad come back? It depends. Did he go out for milk? Because if so, I can get you milk. I got sheep over there that I can go milk. Sorry. I know that's an overplayed joke, but it's great. The handbook will tell you all the different mechanics. It'll tell you how to do flint napping, because you start off in the cigarettes. Yeah, sorry, I don't have tobacco. Game. Refill the forge a little bit. Nope, that ingot's done. Next. Can you make cigarettes? No. Sorry. That they don't have in the game. You can make alcohol though, which here, since we're blacksmithing. Grab a thing of cranberry wine. Let's see here. Put the bowl in here. There we go. Just drank a liter of cranberry wine there. And my character's gonna get a little tipsy. Nice. Yeah, you can actually make distilled liquors in this game too. You have to build up a distillery, which I haven't done yet, which I have a hellhammer. There's no reason I haven't done that. There we go. Another liter. There we go. What's great is this actually gives me fruit in my diet, quote unquote, whenever I drink the wine. Now, it does have actual uses in the game too. You can use it to make, as I said, some distilled liquors, and then you can also use it to make something called aquavitae, which you can use to make the best healing items in the game. There we go. Finish off my bottle of wine. Chase it with a little bit of porridge. By the way, in the real world, I do not recommend drinking and blacksmithing at the same time. Do not recommend that. As I found out nearly the hard way one day. So, when I was much younger, I had a surgery, and I had a thing. Oh, you're right. I cannot tell you what to do. I'm not your parent. Um, but from voice of experience, as someone who worked through college as a blacksmith to some extent, I had surgery when I was a blacksmith, and I was doing a demonstration for a bunch of people like the day after surgery because it's just an in and out like short term surgery thing, nothing too crazy, like long there. And the doctor was like, here's some Percocet, so you don't have to deal with any pain after surgery or whatever, you know. And so I was like, yeah, all right, cool. So I took one, and then went to my demonstration the day after my surgery. So I took one that morning, went, and halfway through my demonstration, I was sitting there working on something, and it dawned on me that if I hit my hand with the hammer between the anvil and the hammer, I probably wouldn't feel it. At that point, I decided to make it more of a talky demonstration than an actual forging demonstration. So there you go. There's my advice about be careful what you do in the real world when blacksmithing. At least I'm not like the other guy who sliced his boot in half one day while smithing. He missed his toes and foot, but he cut through like the outer layer of his boot with a hot piece of steel that he dropped by accident. That guy didn't last long as a blacksmith. I think my master got tired of dealing with him. This is the easier iron refining process, by the way. Letting the Hellhammer do it for you, while you just manage to forge. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but it's a great time to sit here and chat. Though, actually, I think are my kilns done? No, they're not done yet. Dang. I was hoping my kilns were done. How many iron ingots do I have? So this would be... Oh wow, I'll actually have enough to do a full smelting of steel. So when you make steel, you make it in batches of 16. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm not nearly as practiced as I used to be. What do I do now? I'm a tax auditor. That's what my day job is. Now I still have a shop in my backyard for smithing though. Even though I rarely go out there and do it anymore. My son's just not as interested in it as I was. And I just don't make the time for it. That and it's nothing like my master shop was. My master had a fantastic shop. I never got my shop quite up to his level. And tools and equipment. Hey, you don't have to be blacksmith to be cool. Lots of people are cool. What do you do then, battery boy? Oh, nice. Mechanic for the Navy. Very nice. So what do you work on, mechanic-wise? And are you stationed at like a base, or are you a shipboard mechanic? I mean, obviously, I know you can't give me too many details, but still cool though. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, my great uncle was actually in the sub service in the Navy during World War II. For active duty. Even if he did, he couldn't tell us. Yeah. Yeah, my great uncle was stationed out of the Philippines during World War II. In the sub service there. And the funny thing was, like, no, I don't know what boat he was on, sadly. Um, I wish I did. I was never close to him. His wife, after the service, kind of drove a wedge between him and the family before I was born. So I never really got to meet him. My dad used to spend, you know, just summers with him, because after he got out of the service, he became a merchant mariner, a merchant marine, basically, and worked on the merchant marine ships. No, my wind died. Okay, it's coming back. Maybe. Nice. Sadly, I don't know as much about it as I'd like. But I can ask my dad. My dad may know. I'll have to ask him. And the family might have records somewhere. Oh, nice. Um, yeah, that's because my wind is slowing down. So the windmills are actually affected by the weather in the game. And unfortunately, I'm not running the mod I normally run, which would... So, I'll get my mouse out so you can see my mouse. Normally, I have a mod that has, like, an extra HUD display right down here that tells you, like, what your current wind speed is in the area, kind of. So you can know whether or not your windmills are going to be useful. And I'm going to guess right now the wind has died down. Which is very unfortunate. Oh, it's picking back up some. There it goes. That's the other reason I'm looking forward to them adding the water wheels. I imagine there will be a more consistent power source. But I do know that one of the things they are experimenting with on the water wheels is they're going to be very, like, locationally based. Oh, I forgot to put down another boom there. Like, you have to go to certain places to build them. Like, you can't just set up a water system to bring water to them, which is unfortunate. Yeah. But it will give you a reason to go and, like, seek out rivers to live next to, because you'll have to go to, like, a river and find the right place. Oh, like, make a dam. Yes, you would think so. But unfortunately, the way they're setting it up is basically there'll be these special areas within rivers that'll be called rapids. And that's where you build your water wheel, is in the rapids. But you can't move the rapids. You can't make them move around or anything. Unfortunately. So they're going to be set locationally. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, absolutely build like the. I would think they shouldn't have done it that way. They should have left it the other way. That you need to get like maybe make it so you can't move water source blocks, but you could build like a aqueduct or whatever. It would let you move the water to your water wheel. But that's probably more water mechanics than they want to really deal with in the game. The other cool thing, though, they're adding in the next major update is fishing. They don't really have a fishing mechanic in this game right now, other than you can stab fish with spears. Or other weapons. But that's not super realistic. I mean, spearfishing is realistic, but also the way they've implemented the fish is not very good. So they're working on that for the next major update, too, to improve that. Because they want to add more stuff to the sea life anyways. Come on, hammers. Don't die me now. I mean, if need be, I can always go process these ingots by hand. Not that major of a deal. Yeah, I think I'll just go process these by hand at this point. This is my manual forge where I do it with a hammer. You know? Now I'll show you the actual crafting system. So it breaks everything down to these little voxels, which is nice. And then when you're doing a refining of an ingot like this, you got to remove all the extra slag bits, which are these weirdly patterned kind of black and gray voxels here. This is how, and this is similar to how like the pottery and the flint knapping system works in the game. Because your first tools are stone tools, and you have to flint knap them to make them. I'm using the F key to move which direction my hammer is moving the voxels in. There we go. Let's move that one over. And basically, you got to fill in all these green ones. Voxels. And then any extra... I'll throw the hammer down. Any extra, you just cut them off with the snipping tool. And there you go. And that's an ingot. I'm actually slightly faster than the hell of hammer on processing these. But the difference is the hell of hammer does not have a durability. The hammer I use to smith does. Every time I do this, I'm permanently losing a little bit of iron. Whereas the hell of hammer does not have that problem. Actually, go ahead and move that one up. Move this one back up. That one over. There we go. That side's done. The other thing I have on the server that I run, just realized I forgot to stack that back up. um, is a mod called Smithing Plus that actually makes it so that whenever you snip off these extra bits of metal, not the slag, but like the actual bits of metal, you get after like every third one, you get like a piece of metal back, so you actually save a little bit of your metal, which I like because that's very real world to me. Because as a blacksmith, any scrap of iron can always be smelted back down into more iron that you can use for something else. Go. That one down. So, like, cutting off these 6 pieces here would have given me 2 small pieces of iron using the Smithing Plus mod that I like. Go. While we wait on that, let's grab these. Process the next one here. So if I can get a run of steel going tonight, I'll be pretty happy as far as progress in the game goes. Now I'm not going to make you all sit here and watch the steel run, because that's going to take a while. So to do a run of steel in this game, it's 50 in-game hours. It's not real-world hours, just in-game hours. Which is, if you just sat there and watched it, it's like 50 minutes, so almost a real-world hour with my settings. Alright, have a good one. And if you want to hang out more, I do have Discord. People are welcome to join. Go. Go grab my mortar real quick. I'm so close on the refractory bricks. So close. Go. Can't wait to have the steel run going. It'd be so nice having steel. There we go. That one heats up. We're good. It's finished. Turn that off. Go. I'm quite literally 1 refractory brick short. 1. Alright. Almost done with these iron ingots here. Go. Character real quick. Is this one hot enough? Just barely. Oh, it's just barely hot enough for us to finish up. Go. It's just more efficient that way. And cool. So let's bring this one down. So we're get down to that layer down. And that one right there. All of these should fill in this one nicely. Done. Alright. 16 iron ingots. Your flax is almost done growing? Nice. We just got our first flax harvest today. Alright, there we go. This way. That way. Eat the character again. Apparently my character's just eating everything in sight. Alright, so now we need one more set of factory bricks, and I'm out of olivine. Hello, cat. Why are you trying to throw yourself out of my lap? What's going on? You're so chill, and you like started freaking out. Relax, cat. Relax. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine, cat. I don't have another pickaxe today. Well, it's a good thing I have 20 iron ingots. And apparently I'm just going to burn myself. Because I'm smart like that. Yep. Alright. Charcoal, please. Yeah. You okay? You look very unhappy about something. Alright. We're going to make another iron pickaxe. And we're going to go get some more olivine. Finish this thing up. Because we're so close. We are incredibly close to finishing up our refractory furnace. Or cementation furnace. Sorry, good lord. Our cementation furnace, which is made out of tier 2 refractory bricks, which will let us make our first run of steel, and my first ever run of steel in Vintage Story. Very close. We can see it, folks. Alright, you're hot enough. Just iron. There we go. Okay. Two. There we go. And pickaxe. Done. Cool. Hammer back away. Pickaxe there. Rid of the tongs. With that. Rid of the tongs. There we go. Alright, and I'm gonna need a little bit more food than that. So let's grab just a hair more food here. It was right. So I'll grab 8 flax. I think we'll do onions this time. One. And we'll do some turnips. Onions and turnips and flax. There we go. Get a little bit of food for us to go on the road here. So we can go get some more olivine so we can get our last refractory bricks. We quite literally just need one more refractory brick block, which is 8 more crafted refractory bricks. Good. Alright, and we'll take this one, take that out, this on the floor, and we'll just refill that crock again. There we go. So I've been thinking about hooking up my... Let's see here. So I've got my quern here. So I've been thinking about hooking it up with its own input chest and output chest. By basically mining out the block under it, dropping a chute down into a chest or whatever below it. And then just putting a chest like here next to it that feeds into it. I'm going to have to experiment with that some. That way my quern will be automated. So I can just mass produce flour and stuff. There we go. Throw that in there. Done. Food for the road. Let's speed run this. Let's not forget my lantern though. Gonna want my lantern. Really left home without my lantern. Lantern acquired. You know what? Let's take the elk with us today. Oh yeah. Look at that speed on the road. What kind of temporal stability is out there? It's Sunkai. It's high temporal activity out there. That's great. That's going to make this mining trip fun. And yeah, the elk gets 20% speed on the road here. There we go. Alright. Get off the elk. Check my... Come here, boat. Boat. One of these has a rope in it somewhere. Did I use my rope? I probably used my rope. Yeah. Okay. Did I leave a rope in your bag? So, stay, elk. go get some more rope. I need a rope to tie the elk to the boat, basically, folks. The good news is I've got a bunch of cattails right here. Become rope. I'm gonna go for the ones buried nice here. Stay away from the temporal rift there. There we go. Rope acquired. Well, cattails acquired. Hello, cat. Are you comfortable on my sidearm? My cat is sitting here on the arm of my chair. Perched. Cat, you look like you're about to fall off. Are you sure you're happy there? Here we go. Rope. Done. Alright. Come on, elk. Come here, bud. There. What the? Hold on. Hold on. What's going on here, game? Elk. What's going on here? Okay, my elk is like confused. Alright. Here you go, elk. Stay. Good. Okay. Stay. Okay, my character did not get out where I wanted them to get out, but that's alright. Okay. Elk. Elk. Rope. Alright. I don't think my elk likes my dog. Alright. Let's go to our olivine mine, which is just down here. Yeah, right down here. There we go. Elk crisis averted. Eat a little snack on the road. There we go. But everyone having a good night out there? Well, it's good night for me. It's nighttime where I'm at. Whatever time it is for you. That's good. That over there, is that just like a... Yeah, it's just a bush over there. Where am I heading towards? I'm heading the wrong way. I need to get further to the right. Oh, to starboard. Because I about sailed into the place where I went crazy looking for salt under the water. It was a whole disaster mining expedition. Oh, general efficiency. So just to kind of tease my wife today, I decided to make an electrum lining for my lantern, just so that my lantern's slightly better than hers on the server. Yeah. So that was my first time ever making electrum. I went with the 50% gold and silver ratio. I also made some silver solder, because she's been bothering me about wanting a one of the boilers and condenser setups, so she could distill the wine and stuff into brandy and things and other things. So I've started working on making her a distillery. What's the game? I keep forgetting it's winter. It gets darker earlier in the game. Make it hard, right? So through this gap. So funny enough, one of the main reasons that my wife wants a distillery in the game is so that she can get aqua vitae to make use of the wild farming mod that I use, so that she can grow mushrooms. There we go. And navigate past all the sea ice with my map. One of the advantages of having the elk stationed in the front of your boat, it gives you a nice little like pointer on your map of your boat is facing this way. Actually, make up between these two islands here. I just sailed past a rabbit in the middle of the ocean. Did everyone else see that? Alright. Almost to the Albion Cave. Yeah, that was a strange looking fish. Real fluffy, short, fuzzy tail, long legs. Weirdest fish I've ever seen. Oh, man. I said I sailed past a rabbit in the middle of the ocean, dear. My wife was sitting here looking in the room at me quizzically like what I was talking about. It's just a second, love. My wife is in her not so subtly way telling me it's time for me to go to bed. Something something day job tomorrow, something something work. But I'm gonna wait till I get to the Olivine Cave. At least. Okay, random cave over there. Yeah, I don't know how you're trying to get more comfortable on that armrest. My cat is still continuing to sit on my armrest and trying to figure out how to balance herself well enough to sleep on it. And I'm just like, cat, it's too narrow for you to sleep on. But you're a stubborn thing, aren't you? Yeah. Mhm. Alright, we're getting close to this olivine cave. Gonna load up on olivine once we get down here. Assuming there's any left. I mined out the vein I was working on last time pretty hard. So I may have to go deeper into said cave. Find more. But I brought my prospecting pick, just in case. Oh, good. My rift activity went down to calm. That'll make this a lot easier. Back into first person here. Turn the boat around a little bit. And there we go. And now we're nice and parked. Get the lantern out. Go to the cave real quick. Let's be better out here. Cave right here. Here we are. Okay. Real quick. Nothing nearby. Okay, so yeah, I've mined out this area full of olivine here. Let's do a density search here. I don't know if olivine shows up on the density search. The right business. So no, it does not. Okay. That's unfortunate. We'll just keep looking for some. Hopefully we'll get lucky. Ah, you're doing a slate roof? Nice. Well, I don't think we're going to see olivine down here. Node search. Nope. Well, dang. Let's go this way. olivine? Go this way. Go up a layer here. That'd be a good place to test. And nothing. Dang. I'm afraid I may have tapped this cave out of olivine. Which would be very unfortunate. Gonna go this way a bit and see if I get lucky on any readings. Because where I mined out the node should be above me somewhere, basically. Nothing. Dang. Alright. Well, that's gonna be a problem. I suppose I could always just use regular refractory bricks. But I'd rather not. Oh, thank goodness, there's some right here. Okay. Oh, goodness, I didn't mine out the entire vein. We want enough to make sure that we've got olivine to replace our old refractory bricks as they break, because they will break over time. I just want to see how far this vein goes. I suspect I'm coming to the end of it. Yeah, pretty close. Well, maybe not. Alright. That's a decent amount. We'll go this way a little bit. It doesn't go down or something on me there. Definitely on the edge of the vein, though, I think. Nope, nope, it does continue this way. Nope, yep, nope. We've gotten more than a stack, so that's more than enough for what we need. Just because my wife is already, like, giving me that whole you need to go to bed thing. There we go. Let's get out of here. Get back to the boat. I'm sure she'll understand if I'm a little late to bed, right? Right, chat? Wives are understanding like that, right? There we go. Nice successful mining run. Last, the olivine I need to finish up my refractory bricks, my tier 2 refractory bricks for my cementation furnace. So, I'm just do a quick jaunt home. Finish up our furnace. Before my wife notices that I haven't gone to bed yet. And I think we'll even light it if we have enough time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are the only person with a good supply of explosives on the server. So you gonna bring any scrap bombs to the archives with you? Okay, well, just make sure you let us know before you set those things off. Actually, I'd be tempted to bring some beanades, personally. We kind of want to bring one beanade and just, like, throw it in there once the boss is active and see what happens. See if the beanade actually hurts the boss. Alright. We're so close. I'm so close to having steel. The worst part is I'm going to have to basically repeat this entire process on the server so we can get steel. Oh, God. Not that I've found a source of olivine or anything. I mean, at least on the server, I'm sure people will help me out with getting, like, steel and stuff. And to be fair, on the server, we might try and get to the point where we've got, like, the tier 3 refractory bricks and probably, like, 2 beehive kilns set up, or not beehive kilns, but the cementation furnaces set up, just because, to make enough steel for everybody on the server, it would take more than one. Let's go up to the right. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to get that gap. north here. See if we can navigate the sea ice without getting out of the map here. Go. Dodge the sea ice. Probably not going to focus on steel that much, to be honest. I mean, it is a lot of work. And to be fair, you don't need it. It's just one of those things of like, it's kind of cool. Now we will need some steel if we want the sturdy leather backpacks. Because you have to have steel to mine the chromium for that. I mean, I could tease you with adding that mod, and just, you know, not telling you. I'm pretty sure you'd notice when it installed the mod next time you join the server, though. So close back. So close to home. The main problem with the firearms is they kind of unbalance the story content a little bit. Like they're not too crazy though. Like because they do have like the whole reload time and stuff and the extra material, so they're not completely unbalanced. The people who made the firearms right actually did a pretty good job on balancing the firearms in my opinion, as far as like conceptually. Because also, to be fair, they have blasting powder and grenades in the game, in the vanilla game. The technology is certainly there to have things like matchlocks and flintlocks. And even wheellocks, because wheellocks are actually surprisingly old technology. I've always wanted to own a wheellock. They are so expensive and so maintenance heavy. In real life. But it'd be one of those things like you just own it for like, oh yes, that's my wheellock. Isn't it fancy looking? Now I do own a flintlock. Oh yeah, no, the mod is definitely mostly muzzle loaders. I think it's almost entirely muzzle loaders technically. There might be an expanded mod that adds some non-muzzle loaders, like a further mod. I mean, the hand cannon was technically a muzzleloader too. I think I need to get my rope to get him out of here. Bye, Oak. Oak? Me and the Oak just like teleported. This is a great sinkhole where I mined out some copper. By the way, this is basically how I plan to get the Devastation when it's time. Because I'm just gonna get on my elk and just ride nonstop. Yeah, as I said, I think all the firearms mods are basically just muzzleloaders. There you go. Stay elk. They're wandering off. Follow me. Alright. Yes. Go. No, it's like bauxite. There we go. And then olivine. Fantastic. There we go. That's the last of the fire bricks we need. Alright, we're almost done, folks. And then I want to get this done really fast, so... Come here. Speed up the process. Then use a bit of actual coal. There you go. Can I... Let me grab my steel here. 16. I don't know how much coal I need. Let's find out if it'll let me actually go ahead and preload this thing here. Oh no. It won't. Not until the structure's done. Dang it. That's okay. Alright, figured it out. There we go. It's done. Clear that off now. Alright. Come on. Feel like having any other gun that's not black powder system loading can just never touch my mods folder. Yeah, like it just wouldn't fit with the setting, honestly. I mean, because the cartridge revolvers and all just, you know, once you get to the point where you're using cartridges instead of muzzleloaders, like I think if we want to go advanced, I think the pepper box is as advanced as anything should ever get in this. Anything more advanced than say the pepper box, and you're taking it too far. Because even the flintlock is pretty advanced for this day and age. Because the flintlock was developed in like the 1600s, if I remember correctly, like the actual flintlock. The wheel lock was developed in like the 1500s, and before then they were basically using matchlocks in like the 13 and 1400s, or hand cannons, which were kind of the predecessor of the matchlock, because that one you didn't really have a lever or anything. You just had basically a small cannon that you held, and then you touched a match to it with your hand, effectively, or basically a stick. Um, Kind of like a smaller version of a oh God, what was it they called those guns on the side of ships? Bridget gun, something like that. The whole thing. That's strong tannin. That's water. Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I think I might have to call this here, folks. Because it is time for me to go to bed, as much as I want to sit here and finish the last brick. I'm this close. I'm literally like 10 minutes away from having, 10 minutes. I promised my wife we wouldn't go to bed late today. And it's already later than she wants. Hmm. Do I stay and wait like the 10 minutes it's going to take for my last brick to finish? Let's see here. Let me grab my one mortar that I need. Do I have a place in here? I do have a place in here for these. Okay. Work. Cannon. An empty bucket somewhere? I do have an empty bucket. Look at that. Like I had planned for this. What am I doing? Just grab water out of this. I need to do that bucket anyways. Or that barrel. There we go. That there. I'm definitely not just stalling time. By working on my leather process. The latest cattail. Right? There we go. Where's my cattail? Do I have a cattail box? No, I don't have a cattail box. I have a collection of cattails in here. Alright. That elk is so loud. Let's go check the crops one last time. It's been a day. Maybe some of them are ready. Oh yes, let's see, some of them are. That one. And the parsnips. I don't think the parsnips are going to make it. Or the spelt. At least, I don't think they're going to keep growing. Let me be more accurate. That rye's almost ready. Almost ready. It's ready? What about you? No. Now it is. It's interesting how some of this rye is stunted due to cold and some of it is not. Like, even just like one block layer of height seems to be a determining factor there. Alright. Oh, one more. There we go. Can be harvested is. Get that one up there hadn't grown on me. There we go. Put the seeds away. Let's go feed the animals real quick. Gotta feed the animals. Can't end the episode without feeding the animals. Or the stream, I should say. I keep calling it episodes. I'm so used to recording. Even though I do more live streams than recording. It's a weird dichotomy of being a YouTuber, I guess. Alright, let's see here. How are we doing? Pigs. There we go. Pigs. Get out. There's some snow. Feed the chickens real quick. What generation are we on? Generation 2? Okay. Alright. Just gonna put the food away. And then I definitely have to call it there, folks. Alright, let's see here. Nope, don't have any storage there for that. I'll just throw it in here. Alright, folks. Well, thank you all for joining me. Next time we will finish the cementation furnace food. This pit right here, this pit kiln, is quite literally the last step between us and having our steel production up and running. So, next time that you all join me, we will have our cementation furnace finished. Or we will finish it, I should say. I'm not going to finish it off screen. I'll make sure people get to see the last block go into place, and then the lighting of the steel furnace. So, thank you all for joining me this evening. Thank you all for hanging out with me and chatting. And now I'm going to end the stream, and I'll catch you all next time. And we'll be back on Thursday with something different. I'm going to stream a game that I've been waiting for it to come out, and it dropped today. That's going to be Star Rupture. I'm going to be streaming Star Rupture on Thursday night. So I hope you all will join me for that. For something a little different than Vintage Story, but still a fun little survival game. So I'll catch you all next time, and see you all soon.